welcome back to the next video of this multi-room MLO series, right? So, as you can see, I added frames, which that is not going to be hard, right? So let me not get too far. My name is Royalty. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, well, we're just picking up where we left off, fam. Welcome back. Thank y'all for watching. And we got a few more videos. So, like I was saying, I added frames. It's not hard, you know. This is not, they're not going to be red. I just made them this color so I could tell them, and I got them all together in one. I'm leaving the walls separate like that just for like when I texture. So, oh, and then this, because of that door having that issue, um I'm gonna have this right here. This is just a prop. It's not gonna open. You're not gonna be able to go through it or nothing like that. I'm gonna make it a little bit. I'm gonna make it a little bit more thick, so um, the stuff that's right there, it doesn't show through. So this is just gonna be a part of the interior. So the first thing that I'm gonna hide the big building. So the first thing I wanted to do um is, which I always forget to tell y'all, make sure you're saving your stuff. Um, I didn't save it. I don't think I saved it not one time on when I was recording with y'all. But make sure you're saving so you don't lose your stuff. And then another thing before we get too far is let's check the face orientation, right? So I know some of you guys are not using the same version of Blender, which is okay. So I think with the newer Blender, it doesn't show, it's not going to show you the blue, or I'm not sure if it's the blue or the red, but it one of them, it doesn't show you. But the only thing that you need to know about these two is that red in game you cannot see. Blue in game you can see. So all the red I need to flip, right? So I'm going to click on, cuz that's the interior. I'm and I don't have to worry about the walls flipping because the walls are all separate. I didn't connect them together. So then I'm going to hit A, and then oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me turn um my keys on, right? So, I clicked on my interior. I tabbed into edit mode, right? And then I hit A to select everything. And it's not going to select the walls on the inside because those are complete, those are separate, right? So then I'm going to go up to mesh, normals, flip. So now everything on the inside, and then I'm going to tab back into object mode. Now everything on the inside is blue, right? Outside needs to be red. The window frames, the window frames need to be blue on the inside and the out, right? So these are all good. All those are good. I just need to make sure that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna leave that. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, so now, so we're good on that. So we know that all that is good. So now for the texturing. Well, I just want to fix this sticking out like that. Um Oh shit, let me hit. I'm just gonna sticking out a little bit is fine. I mean, honestly, it's not gonna be seen, but I just didn't want it too much. And I feel like these ones need to be moved up. Okay. So that's good. So now on the texturing. So we are going to do I'm going to do the frames first. I'm just going to delete this material that I have on here. I'm going to hit N to open up my little tabs over here. I'm going to go to Solums. And then I'm going to go down to shader tools. Now I'm going to pick because we're doing the frame, so I'm just gonna do, actually it's just gonna be default because I am just using just a regular white texture for this. So then after you create your shader material, you're gonna make sure that I like to just make sure I'm gonna name this frames because they're all gonna be together, so that way if you wanted to use this again for something else, you know which texture goes with what on the interior. So frames, and then we're gonna go up to shading. We're gonna find the diffuse. We're gonna hit this. Remember, copy those addresses so you don't have to go searching for your textures and stuff. And I'm gonna pick white. So those are going to be white. Also, get in a habit of embedding your textures. So how I do it is you go down to material, embed. Another thing that you need to make sure of is that your UV maps are UV map 0, because when you're adding the door should be good. Yeah, the door is already set because I pulled that out of GTA, but anything that you made needs to be changed to UV map 0, or your texture is, oh shit, or your texture is not going to be right. I'm just doing this right now. So it's best to do things like this at, at the beginning or when you're making it. But I mean, there's no right workflow or wrong workflow. Oh shit, I did it again. Okay, so all those are changed, right? So, and I embedded my texture by going to the material. You go down to Solums, texture parameters, and then embed. So now I'm going to do the interior. So you can have as many textures on here as you want, but you have to make sure that you assign them to the right spots that you want it. So my interior is actually going to have um it's going to have one the floor, the ceiling, and then that once this the interior is going to have three textures, and then the wall themselves are going to have actually the same as the wall of the interior, so that's going to be easy. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to click on, make sure that the interior is selected. I'm going to use normal spec for this. Create shader material, right? I'm going to hit N to close that up. Um I'm going to do floor for this one. So, and then this is what I was talking about um when you're downloading. I'm just going to do wood. Um I like that floor, but I do not have the DDS, and I like that one too, but I don't have the DDS to a lot of these. So let me just use this one. I don't like that one. Let me use this one. So I can show y'all. So when you guys download those textures, right? There's the three. These are the three that I was telling you about. You need to get the diffuse. That's the color, right? And then the normal is the bump. It's a bump map or a normal map. It means the same thing, right? And then you got the roughness, aka spec map. So these three are what you're gonna use if you use that shader, the normal spec, right? So I'm gonna grab this address, and now here in the shading, right? Now diffuse. That's my color map. Spec map. Bump slash normal map. So this, and then this is how it's gonna look, right? So then we're going to go up to UV. And you can actually change this to material view so you can see. And then you're going to go on this side. You're going to hit U, cube projection. And then with your mouse on this side, you're going to hit A, S to scale. And we're just going to scale this up. I want to see what the floor, because this is going to be for the floor. So it needs to look, I feel like that's a little big. So we're going to just scale this out just a little bit more. Well, I don't want it too small because then it's not going to look right. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that like that. So then now we have to add another texture because our walls, this is not, no, this is not going to be the color of our walls. Um Another thing I got to do, I got to see something really quick. I'm glad I'm looking at this. Okay. So we're going to edit. I got to edit this really quick cuz once I save everything, I don't want to have to. Okay. So that's good. That's fixed. Okay, so now we're going to add another. We're going to highlight this up. We're going to open up our solums and we're going to create another shader material. All right. And we're going to name this. I'm just going to make the walls and actually no, the walls are going to be, what am I going to make? What am I going to make the walls? So I'm just going to make the walls and the roof uh it's just going to be plaster. Right. So I'm just going to put plaster right here. And then we're going to go to shading, right? I'm going to grab grab this right quick. Diffuse, so that one's the white one. Spec, and then bump. Right. So now you're gonna be like, well, nothing changed. So what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna close up this. We are going to go to ymap. And you are going to we are going to select everything except the floor. And it sucks because if I hit L, it lights up the whole thing. Except it lights up the whole bottom, but I want the top to light up. Oh yes. So the top, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this really quick. And then we're going to continue. You select everything, and the reason why this is going to be glass, that's why I didn't select that. So then you're going to go down to the material tab, you're going to go to plaster, and then you're going to hit assign, and that's going to change it, right? And then that's where then you're going to hit on this side, you can hit U, Q projection, hit A, and then stretch this out and make it look like some plaster, right? Hold on. The back of the are all the frames like that? Oh, maybe it's just the lighting. Yeah, it gotta be the lighting, and because they're white, yeah. Okay, so then we got that. So remember, we got to materials, solums, embed all. We're gonna embed all these while we're right here. So that's that. The door I'm leaving that color. Um, let me actually get it. Mm. I'm gonna have to make this a fat. Oh shit. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna duplicate this and move it out. Okay, so that's just it's gonna look ghetto as fuck, but it's okay. So that is that. Now the walls. So basically, all we're gonna do is because we already got the texture already in and placed somewhere else, and Blender saves that. So we're just going to add this down here. We're just gonna change this to plaster, and it's gonna change them. So we're gonna change this to plaster. Then change to plaster. Create shader material, and then and then we're gonna do that. And then I'm going to hide this and hide that, so then just we can see just the walls, right? So this one we're gonna UV edit. We're gonna hit A on this side, U, cube projection, A on this side. We're gonna do that. Layout. And we're gonna go here. A, U, cube projection. A, scale. Scale that out. Layout. And then we're gonna click on this one. UV edit. A, U, cube projection. A, as. Make it a little bit bigger. Now we're gonna go on to the next wall. Click that wall. UV. A to select all. U for the UV mapping menu. cube projection. This window AS. We're just gonna scale this. Yep. And then we're going to this one. UV edit. A for all. U. Cube projection. A. S. And then if like for this right here, we can actually just select this right here. So you can unwrap this by itself instead of with the whole wall, because it's a kind of a different type of piece. So we're gonna hit cube projection over here, A, bigger, and we're actually, so I'm gonna show y'all something. So we're actually gonna click these lines right here, and I'm gonna move these down. I'm actually gonna hold up. Just to, and then select the whole thing. There we go. Actually, wow, actually, I'm gonna add to this wall. I'm actually going to add another one, and I'm gonna change this to the floor. So then we're UV edit, and then I'm gonna make sure this is highlighted, floor is picked, and then I'm gonna go to assign. And actually now we're gonna scale this back down. So now that is wood right there, like the floor, right? So now I can bring this back. And see. Yes. And just like how I did for the outside, you can make frames for the inside, but I'm not going to show you that because you can do that. This is more or less for the multi room. Oh, so I got to put another texture on here, and it has to be a glass texture. So for the glass, it's different. Glass, it's GLASS, and you're gonna do glass envy. And then I'm gonna name this Windows, so that way it's already in here when I do all those other windows. Let me go get the texture really quick. And then so shading. So the diffuse is this one. This will move out the way. Spec is that one. And then the bump is that one. And then, so we're gonna go to UV edit. And this need to change to this. So now that's glass right there. Okay, so do I want to yeah, let me just make the windows just real quick. I'm gonna speed through this and that other part when I had to select the walls. I'm speeding through that, so y'all ain't gotta worry about that. Okay. So now that I got all the windows, so I'm gonna connect all the windows together. I'm gonna make sure that this is, see, these are embedded. Then I'm gonna open up this. I'm gonna create this material. And then we're gonna go down and pick windows. And all the windows have been changed. Perfect. Okay. So for the texturing, we're good. So I'm gonna hide that. So all the texturing and everything is good. We got the glass for the windows and we got the texture for the building. So I'm going to end this video here. In the next video, we are solely going to be working on just getting the white type together and exporting it. That's going to be one video by itself, so people can watch that one, because I know that is the part that a lot of people have issues with. So I will see you guys in the next video.